Hi guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my fly tying channel. This channel contains hundreds of different videos covering all manner of different patterns, techniques and styles of fly tying. There's something here to suit almost everybody, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let's get on with the show. Hi guys, so we're going to tie a fly called KG's South Fork Special. So this is a Kelly Glismeyer pattern, and I suppose it's a nymph, but something like a mayfly, caddis, pupa sort of thing. I'm using here a slightly curved hook, so I am using a B110 Camazan grubber. Although if you want less of a curvature in it, then obviously use something that's more fitting to that, so maybe a Dairiki, and I think the pattern given for that is a 125. So I'm going to use like an olive dun or a brown olive tying thread here, and this one happens to be a Danville's 6.0 Flymaster. So I'm going to start the thread here and break that off, and I'm just taking it up into the back of the bead. So the bead itself is a copper 30 seconds brass bead. So by wrapping up into it here, your thread will slip up into the recess of the bead and hold it in place, stop it sliding back over it. You want to leave it just a little bit for when you're finishing the fly, that there's a little bit of give still up in there. I'm just going to put a bit of super glue on that, and that will hold everything in place. So tail is the first thing I'm going to go with, and for that I'm going to use cock pheasant tail. And if we take 8 to 10 fibers of that, just take that bunch. What I'm going to do is I'm just catch that by the tail, by the very tips, and I'm going to wrap back here to where I intend my fly to finish. So I'm not going to use the full curvature of the hook. I'm going to go back here just somewhere just above the barb, and then I'm going to tie that in. I'm going to leave the tail pointing backwards, not overly long, maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of a body length there, and then I'm going to take that forward and then flip it back, and this is going to become the back of the fly and the wing case. So I'm just going to tie right back until I hit that tail again, and I'm just making sure that I have enough length to get me the whole way along the body. So I'm going to tie in the rib, and the rib on this I'm going to use a chartreuse green wire. Tie that in the length of the body. Again, we're just doing things here to make sure that we have an even body rather than having steps in it. And then the body itself is a pearl ice dubbing. So this is a pearlescent synthetic dubbing. They do tend to dub quite nicely, these sort of things. So I'm just going to slide that along my tying thread and start to spin, and then I want to catch 1 or 2 turns, or sorry, 1 or 2 strands of the material, and then that'll allow me, it gives me a base or an anchor to start to twist and tighten this up to. So once I'm happy with that, I'll just wrap it forward. As I put on a few wraps, I'm just going to have to tighten it up again, because as you wrap it does loosen these turns, and we're taking that up and leaving ourselves room at the front to create a thorax. So we now want to take that forward and put a turnover just to hold it up on top, and then I'm going to take the rib here and rib this section of the body. So we're going over the back of the pheasant, and come to the front here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off those wraps that I had holding the pheasant in place and pull it back. I'm going to come in front of it and put on a few wraps and just pull that to break it. And that saves me trying to tie it in and cut it off with scissors, etc. It adds that little bit of extra weight, and then I just wrap over those wraps and that'll hold that tie-in securely in place. So the thorax itself then is like a brown olive, again in one of these ice dub type things. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. You'd be surprised how little it actually takes, little tiny pinches of stuff. And again, set that up, stretch it along my thread and tighten it up into a dubbing rope, and then dub on the thorax. I'm going to take that up to the back of the bead, and then we're going to put in some legs. So for the legs, what you want to do is some sort of speckled, soft, hackle, soft hen type thing. So I'm going to take a feather here and just stroke it back so I get this separation, and then snap out the tip. I even it up on both sides there. So I'm going to end up with this sort of a thing, this like V, and I'm going to set that up and tie across the stalk. And then what I'll do is I'll just pull that forward until the stalk disappears and I end up with just fibers either side. Just push them down and tie that down to secure it. Then we want to take our scissors, lift this stalk up and get down and tight and cut that off, and then take the pheasant fibers in between those legs. That'll create the thorax cover, and just tie across that to secure it in place. And then I'm going to trim that off and then finish the fly. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take a little bit of super glue. If you're not confident with that, just use clear varnish, and I'm just going to glue or varnish an inch or so of the thread and wrap that over to create the head, and then you have to be quick but just finish off into that. And then we want to varnish that now that it's sealed, and that will be our fly finished. I really quite like that. You could of course tie it on a straight hook as well, but that curvature to me just gives it that little bit of extra. So KG's South Pork Special. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you liked what you've seen. If you did, give us a like, subscribe, check out all the other videos on my channel. Now there's probably about 700 or so. Tell all your friends, because the more the merrier. Bring them along, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.